So before I get started, just really quickly, making this video just talking about what to expect in the week ahead when it comes to the stock market. I'd like to give a shout out to the WION network, which is an Indian internet news station. And I really appreciate it because CNN and MSNBC, as well as it looks like Fox, have taken a biased stance on on pretty much everything. But one thing I gotta like about WeOwn is that WeOwn just put out this video right here. It's called "Who Controls What You See," and I'm going to provide a link to that video, and you really should pay attention to that because one of the things that I think is important for people to remember, this situation with Russia going into Ukraine, they call it an invasion, some people call it a war, Russia calls it a military action. The problem is, depending upon who you're listening to, you're going to get different, how should I say, conjecture. And the other problem is, you're going to get information that is tailor cut, edited. Some of it's conjecture, some of it's not true, some of it's just flat out lies. And the reality is, you have to be willing to look at both sides of the story. But the problem is, if you have the tech giants controlling everything, and they're controlling what you see, and they're controlling how you see it, and they're controlling when you see it. We already know, and this is not tinfoil hat knowledge, we already know that the tech companies have the ability to control the messaging to your phone. They can tell you about certain things that are happening in current events. They can force feed information to you. And we already know that if you suggest something to a person of weak mind and you suggest it to them constantly, eventually they are going to believe things to be the way that you suggested them to be. They called it, in the movie Super Size Me, they called it brand implementation for later actualization. If I grow a child believing in something like cigarettes, when they get of legal age, they're going to smoke cigarettes, and they're most likely going to smoke the pack or the brand that I tell them that is the best to smoke. We do it all the time with soda. We try Coca-Cola products. We try Sprite. We try Pepsi products. We go towards the things that we are advertised constantly. Some people are willing to spend ridiculous amounts of money on shoes and Coach bags and Prada bags and this, that, and the other. And that's because they've been bombarded with information that says this is what you should be doing with your money. So I'm going to definitely leave the link to this, and you should definitely watch this. It says the West is winning the information war. I want you to think about the fact that the tech giants didn't even have to do it, but they simultaneously shut off Russia and walled it in. Now, Russia doesn't give a fuck about Facebook and Google and Apple. They give a shit. They were determined to accomplish their military objective regardless what the tech giants were doing. But it's a really sad thing to see that we live in a system where if you do whatever you're doing, it doesn't even matter if you go to war with somebody. You could just be a superstar, and you could say something that they don't like, and they have the ability to fuck with you and fuck with your money. That is the danger. The danger is that they can unilaterally decide without government. Now, mind you, the Congress has not declared war on Russia. The Congress did not tell the tech giants that this is what they needed to do. The virtual signaling, they call it virtual signaling, where basically everybody gangs up on somebody and fucks with their money or screws with them personally or privately. That is what's going on here. And that is the danger of this financial system. Now, what's crazy about that is cryptocurrency has, I was going to get to that later, but a lot of people were trying to rely on cryptocurrency. Oh, yeah, well, if the banks screw with me, I can just go to crypto. But the problem is the government's already shown you that they monitor cryptocurrency and they can strike you there too. So what I'm saying is cryptocurrency, as much as I wanted to believe in the very beginning, in 2017, I had a softer stance on crypto. When the government entered crypto, I was like, yeah, this shit is fucked up. I'm out of here. And sure enough, they've caused it to rise a little bit, but you've noticed that I've constantly chided these people about talking about how they claim that it's going to go to 100,000, Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000, and they're talking about all of these shit coins that are nothing more than Ponzi schemes. But what I ultimately realize is it's not a free market if the government has intervened with it. So that's what you're really dealing with. You're dealing with government intervention that has basically ruined it. So whether you agree with me or not on my stances on cryptocurrencies, the reality is the government's involved, and it doesn't matter what you believe. It's a mess. Now, WeOwn has also been showing us a constant explanation of the Ukraine, the Russia attacking Ukraine, military action, war, whatever you want to call it. And I really like their coverage and their footage, and they put it together pretty well. It's actually a very nice web program, so if you don't watch it, you really should. CNN and MSNBC have obviously taken a pro-Ukrainian stance. I think Fox News basically has too. Pro-Ukrainian or not, it really doesn't matter. Russia is going to flatten that place. Zelensky has three choices. He can either come out surrender, he can come out in cuffs, or he can come out in a body bag. And that's basically it. I think Russia's going to keep pushing to Kyiv, and I think that Russia is ultimately going to take the capital. I'm guessing Zelensky will probably escape before that happens. And I see somebody right here, Marcos Vidal, says, I don't see anyone asking Zelensky to surrender. He's watching TV all day, seeing thousands of Ukrainians die, and still encouraging other people to die too. That's what Marcos Vidal said. So why am I even bothering to talk about this? First of all, WeOwn actually showed something. I don't think the American media showed it yet. They might show it soon. But WeOwn showed just recently, Pakistan just, a missile was launched, I think it was a ballistic missile or something. Yes, India accidentally fires missile into Pakistan. Now, we have no idea how the market is going to react to that, because obviously the market has been reacting highly negatively to the possibility of quote-unquote World War III. So we've got a dip in the market, and it keeps on dipping. So here we go, TD Ameritrade. I will just show you where we are. Now, if you look at Mangoat, first of all, I told you that there was going to be an Amazon stock split. There was immediately a $400 run-up in Amazon from when I posted my video. So if you bought Amazon as soon as I told you about the stock split, the moment I said that there was going to be a stock split the day before the market opened up, well, you probably might have gotten Amazon at that point at 200 and, what was it? 200 and let me just look at my calculator. It was 200 and possibly, no, I'm sorry, $2,700. So if you were lucky, you probably got a $2,700 whatever you bought, and it's gone up about $200. Now, as we saw with Google, Google was closer to $3,000, and when they announced the stock split, there was a quick run up because it had started going down, and then it ran back up, and Google is still about to be split soon in July. So here's the thing. As far as I'm concerned, looking at the futures market, I'm already seeing negative $25 for the futures Amazon after hours. For Google, I'm seeing negative $44. For Apple, I'm seeing negative $3.79. So for Tesla, I can also say it's negative $42. Now, this is the future, so that means as soon as the market starts in the morning and opens up 9:30, all of the ones that I just named are definitely going to drop possibly $40 or $50. So that's pretty much obvious. Now, because of this new information that we're seeing, Russia is now engaging Kiev, and India just fired this missile to Pakistan. I don't think Pakistan is going to start a war over it if they apologize really, really quickly. But the reality is there's a lot of war rhetoric going on right now, which is bringing the market down. So it's very possible the market, right now the Dow is 32,944. It's very possible that we could see between a 300 and 500 point dip in the Dow tomorrow. Now, as you know, I am not a day trader. I don't day trade. When I put money into stocks, I tend to do long plays to keep it in there as long as possible, unless there's some kind of major problem that I see that suggests that I should take that money out. Google and Amazon are going to be strong long-term plays. I don't care what the value is right now. Once we get closer to May and July and June, you're going to see those values rise. Possibly once this Russia situation with the Ukraine is over, it could even double. Now, that's a long-term play. I'm saying, if you're new to this channel, because I know a lot of people sign up new, because I see my subscriber count go up every day. My play is for the next 10 years. I'm 40 years old. I retire at 50. It's set in stone. I'm going to retire at 50. If I choose to stay longer and I like my job enough to continue working instead of just going to some tropical island and having some young girl serving me coconut juice and giving me massages, well, I could consider working longer. Maybe I'll even work abroad. Who knows? Because nowadays when we have this technology, you can work anywhere in the world, and you're doing these sign-in processes on Zoom and this, that, and other. Who knows? It would be a fool's errand to quit a job that you like, and I actually like my financial services job. The only thing about it is that I wouldn't have to go into any office, and I wouldn't have to sit through traffic on Mondays and shit in order to run my business. So all I'm saying is this. I have a 10-year play for my stocks, and I made a video a little while ago talking about how should you be securing your money over the next 10 years, because we already know the Federal Reserve is fucked up. We know they're going to keep printing money. We know they're going to keep these interest rates low. They're fucked up. And if they do this, inflation is going to continue. They have no way of fighting inflation. I'm going to get to that in a minute because I'm going to make this quick. We're probably going to be here less than 9 minutes. But they have no way to fight inflation. Inflation is here to stay. How high inflation goes depends on the supply chain. It depends on the housing market. It depends on the job market. We have no idea how high inflation could go because the problem is the current inflation calculations are way off. So if we were to calculate inflation the way it should be calculated, we'd probably be at 10% inflation, maybe even more. Now, then there's the secret taxes like gas. If you're paying fucking $7 and $8 for a gallon of gas, that's a tax, no matter how you slice it. And that's all due to shitty energy policy by the Democrats in general. Not necessarily just Joe Biden, but the Democrats in general. The Republicans have had a far more open energy policy when it comes to oil. But you get these idiots like my current not elected governor of New York who thinks that it's a good idea to build buildings with no natural gas connections like this Green New Deal stupid shit. And the reality is all it would take is a power outage and those people would fucking freeze to death. So you have to, you know what they say? They say never let the inmates run the asylum. And that's the reality. It feels like a Batman movie where Arkham's inmates have gotten out and these motherfuckers are now in charge. It's kind of like that third Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises. That's how bad things have gotten. Dividend-paying stocks, in many cases, have suffered dips. However, they still pay their dividends. So this situation that's going on in current events is what's killing the market right now. We already know that without the Russia-Ukraine situation, gas prices would still be high, but they wouldn't be this high. We already know that these companies have turned their backs on Russia. They've lost basically 144 million people that they had access to if they've turned their backs on Russia. So we already know that there's going to be huge dips there. We also know that a lot of these people's assets have been seized. A lot of these banks, people have lost a lot of trust with the banks because they've shown that they have the power to fuck with your assets and fuck with your money, even if it hasn't been a government order that has told them to do it. Because the shame of it is, I thought we had something called the Fifth Amendment. I thought we had the Fourth Amendment. I thought we had the First Amendment. I thought we had the Second Amendment. I thought they didn't have the right to do illegal search and seizure. That's what I thought, but these motherfuckers keep coming up with shit. And these laws, most of them are unconstitutional. But the problem is most of these tech companies live outside the boundaries of the Constitution. And that's always going to be dangerous for Americans in general going forward. That's going to be dangerous. So, Fed rate hike, PPI inflation, retail sales, what to watch this week. So, a pivotal few days are underway for investors expectantly watching the Federal Reserve this week as it tees up for a long-anticipated liftoff on interest rates. They're saying that the government is possibly planning to lift interest rates about 0.25%, which is a joke. 0.25% is nothing virtually. If they go up 0.25%, you almost wouldn't even really notice the difference if you were trying to get a mortgage. You really even wouldn't notice the difference. But the issue is they have to make it look like they're doing something about what's going on. But the problem is, especially with this Russia situation, they can't. The national debt, let's go to the national debt clock, U.S. national debt clock. The national debt is so high that the Federal Reserve cannot bring interest rates to 1%. If they did that, our entire economy would collapse because they'd no longer be able to service the national debt. The interest on the national debt is too high to service at this point if you were to bring it to a 1%. As you can see, I made a video not that long ago where we hit $30 trillion. We're already at $30,315 billion. So that means we are quickly racing to $31 trillion. You understand that? They cannot raise the interest rate to 1%. So it's very possible that even a 0.25% hike might not happen. It's very possible. The markets are going to react this week to whatever the Fed says. Now, I'm not one of these fake-ass gurus on YouTube who's going to tell you I know the fucking future, I got a crystal ball and all that shit. I have no idea what Jerome Powell's going to say. What I do know is as soon as he says what he plans on saying, the market is either going to rally or it's going to sell off. That's the bottom line. So we are about to witness something historical this week. We're about to witness record low interest rates being raised, and what they claim, they say they're trying to get rid of quantitative easing. We're either going to witness them claiming and proving that they're trying to get rid of quantitative easing, or we're going to see them give in to the money and say, you know what, there's no way we can fucking raise rates right now, so we'll come back and look at this after the Russia situation is resolved. So right now, the Russia situation has basically stalled them, because if they raise these rates, it could send ripples through interbank borrowing, credit cards, gas prices. And we have no idea what's going to happen. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to pretend that I know what Powell's going to say. I'm not going to pretend. It makes no sense. I can't pretend. I'm not going to bother. So this is what is planned this week. I'll leave the link to this. You can read this all yourself if you really care. But the reality is either the markets are going to rally or they're going to fumble. One or the other. And that's what it's going to be. Now, most of my money is positioned in a way where it really won't matter because most of my overall holdings are real estate. My market here in New York City has done nothing but go up. And that's the reality. Since 2008, after the financial crisis ended, our markets did nothing but go up. So the majority, pretty much more than 80% of my money is in real estate. I'm not worried about this market. Now, as far as the stock market goes, I consider it gambling, in my opinion. But with the dividend-paying stocks, I really consider that decent because I have gotten payouts of dividends. I've showed you some of the dividend payments I've gotten. I've showed you how much they were because what I try to do is I try to buy a lot of shares, especially when there's a red dip, just like we're about to experience. And since I have about a minute left, I'm just going to say it like this. There are a lot of buying opportunities if you have money, especially if you're getting money back from your tax returns. I recommended that you spend $6,000 or at least $6,000 to buy Google and Amazon. If you get at least one share, you're going to walk out of the fire with 20 shares of Google, 20 shares of Amazon. So you can disagree if you want. You can say, I don't want Amazon, I don't want Google. That's up to you. But the bottom line is, I've already made my positions. I have 5 shares of Google, which is going to turn into 100 shares total after it gets split into 20. And I'm doing the exact same thing with Amazon. I like to keep the numbers as simple as possible. Now, if you don't have a trading account, you can either use Charles Schwab or you can use TD Ameritrade or E-Trade. I like those. They're easy to use. Charles Schwab bought TD Ameritrade, so I rock with both of them. I have one account that I use to teach on internet, YouTube, and I have another account that I keep private. And in fact, I don't even open it unless I have the passcode because I don't want anybody fucking with it because, you know, there's a lot of hackers and shit out there. So my YouTube portfolio, I'm not even worried about. So I've done my best to put together as many lists for you to show you what I've invested in and to show you where, in many cases, I show you where I started and where I am now. But oil, obviously, I've been bragging about my oil gains for months, if not years. I've been telling you about the oil. In 2020, I said, get your money into that oil. And that oil has exploded. I told you to get your money into the banks. The banks have exploded. They've risen to very good highs, very, very healthily. The other thing that I had mentioned was airlines. And airlines, as you know, there's not many people vacationing in Europe right now, especially now that Europe is being, threatened, they say. Because ultimately, I want you to understand something. It's very possible. And I hate that, a lot of the shit that I say, it ends up happening in real life. It's very possible there may be a chemical attack, and it might be a false flag operation by the Ukraine in order to try to get America to enter war with Russia. Now, there's been a number of false flag attacks throughout history. We entered the Spanish-American War with Remember the Maine. We entered World War I with, quote-unquote, the sinking of the Lusitania. Now, some people say that may or may not have even happened the way they claimed it happened, but bottom line is that's why America got into World War I. America got into World War II because the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, but that was a response to America fucking with Japan's money and refusing to ship oil and refusing to ship certain goods to Japan. So some people, some historians, PhD historians, would argue that we actually caused Japan to attack us, and that gave us a pretext to enter the war. 9/11, we did the war on terror because Saudis stole some airplanes and attacked the Twin Towers. However, we attacked Iraq after the Saudis hijacked these planes. We attacked Iraq. And then we attacked Afghanistan because they claimed that the Saudis had trained in Afghanistan. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. I'm sorry. But we entered Vietnam because of the Gulf of Tonkin. Some people claim that that was a lie too. So bottom line is, what am I saying? I'm saying it's very possible there might be a false flag chemical warfare attack. And they are desperate to try to get America into the war because Ukraine is losing. It's so bad now that even the liberals on MSNBC and CNN know that Ukraine is losing. They know the Russians are rolling towards the center of Kiev to take that capital. They know it. And they keep lying, and they keep on trying to spin the narrative. And Vladimir Putin he doesn't give a fuck. Vladimir Putin don't give a fuck about Coca-Cola. He don't give a fuck about McDonald's. He don't give a fuck about Pepsi. He don't give a fuck about Facebook. He don't give a fuck about any of these American companies boycotting them. Yes, the Russian people are going to suffer, but the problem is the Russian people have always suffered. They suffered in World War II when the Germans came in there. They suffered the Cold War after Chernobyl. I mean, these people have a history of suffering. So taking away their diabetes food from McDonald's and Coca-Cola, yeah, I don't really think that's a measured response that they give a fuck about. So the reality is, airlines, oil, banks, these are places that are going to grow, but only after Europe is settled. Because if you think about it, the airlines are only down because of COVID. COVID is now basically over. They've lifted the mask mandates. They don't even mention social distancing anymore. They do tell people keep your hands clean. But other than that, right now, social distancing is basically over. I was in the movie theater last night watching The Batman. It was a good movie. I liked it. Full theater. people sitting right next to each other, and that's it. I don't think anybody died or got COVID last night. So as far as I'm concerned, COVID's basically over. Now, airlines are still down because of this Europe situation. Now, one of the things that I mentioned to you, the government itself cannot allow Boeing to collapse. Boeing is part of the military-industrial complex. Boeing ain't going, well, yeah, that rhymes. Boeing ain't going nowhere. It rhymes. It actually rhymes. Let me add for this, well, I think I added it on a different chart, but Lockheed Martin and Raytheon are also good buys, but the problem is they're too high. So my recommendation is to buy low, sell high. So if you look at these right now, I was telling people to get JetBlue when it was $10. JetBlue rallied all the way up to $21.96, and then with this Europe situation, it came down to $12. Delta is like a staple in this country. United Airlines is a staple in this country. American Airlines. Now, these are shitty fucking airlines. Let me show you something real quick. In 34 days, I will be on Emirates business class, just in case you're new, because you might not know this. I'm flying Emirates business class to Maldives. This is what Emirates looks like. Even their economy is better than our first class on these shitty-ass American Airlines. First of all, let's just talk about something, because you know I'm politically incorrect. See this beautiful chick right here? I don't know what European country she's from, but she's from one of them, right? Emirates will not hire you unless you're a pretty person. So that means that when you get on an Emirates plane and you're on business class, you're on first class, you have beautiful stewardesses. They don't even care if you call them stewardess or flight attendant. They don't even care what you call them. They have beautiful women serving you wine, food. Look at this. It's like this guy, look at this shit right here. Look what this guy's got. He's got, looks like fucking tomato sauce or some shit. But bottom line is, this beautiful woman will be serving you for your entire flight. Now, I'm going to be on the first plane for 12 and a half hours. That's to Dubai. Then I'm going to be on the second plane for another 4.5 hours to Maldives. So guess what? Round trip, business class. And I have this beautiful, beautiful, lovely, I'm going to call her Svetlana, because she looks like she could be Russian or Ukrainian. Her name is Svetlana, and she's serving me that whole flight. You don't get service like this in a goddamn American airline. You just don't. You just don't. Look at this. Look at this. You have a bar that you can get up and walk to. You get a tablecloth. You get your personal mini bar. And it says Black Friday. I bought my ticket on Black Friday. That ticket was $4,700. With tax, it was $300 per person. $5,000 per person. If you try to buy the same ticket I bought now, it would cost you $10,000. You get your wine. Now, when I get on the plane, I look at the wine list and I see, okay, if I'm having soup and salad, what wine do they recommend with that soup and salad? And I get that wine. I don't even bother choosing. I say, okay, if they recommended that wine with it, that's what I'm going to get. So that's how I do it. I'm going to be doing this drinking nonstop for 20 hours round trip each way. Look at this guy right here. You don't see people smiling like that on no goddamn American airline, because American Airlines fucking sucks. Look at this chick right here. Look at her. Look at her. That's going to be me. Look at her. She's got her salad. And when I go over there, I'm going to definitely try a Mediterranean diet while I'm there. I'm not going to eat any American food at all. I'm going to just eat the Mediterranean. I'm going to eat their fresh shrimp, their fresh salads, their fresh lettuce, and all their fresh. And I'm going to be sitting there, and I'm going to get the seat right next to the window, too, just like her. I'm going to have my little mini bar, and that's it. I'm going to be chilling. That's me. 33 days from today. 33 days. Mark the date. I'm going to be making videos. Mark the date. I'm going to be in business class on the Emirates A380-800. I can hardly... Look at this chick. Look at her. Look at her. She's like, Big Truck, why don't you come and sit in the seat I have prepared for you? Don't you love me, Big Truck? I love you, Big Truck. Won't you save me from the genocide in Ukraine? I will come to your house and be your lover. You see, this is what I'm talking about. You don't get this on fucking American. I would never. Let me tell you something. First of all, I only fly business class. I would never ever travel with an American air carrier ever again if I have a choice. If I could fly Emirates to my fucking job, I would. I would. Look at these chicks. Look at them. She's got the nice smile, and Emirates trains these women to smile constantly. Like even if they're upset, even if their country is being bombed and flattened, these women are smiling constantly. I have to say, the one thing that disappoints me is they used to wear a little flag pin that said which language they spoke or what country they were from. I'm a little disappointed they don't do that, but my guess is there must have been some kind of racism incident where maybe one of these women had like a Russian pin and somebody slapped them or some shit. I don't know. But I really don't know. Bottom line is, on the A380, you got this bar. You can come up here, you get yourself a drink. You don't have to stay at your seat. You get to walk around. It's like, fuck these American Airlines. They're so cheap, they won't even buy an A380. That's why they had to cut back on A380 production, because these American Airlines would rather sandwich you in there like fucking sardines. See this? I'm going to be videoing this whole thing on my new iPhone for you in 33 days from today. So I digressed, but it was a healthy digression. Airlines are down because of the European situation right now. But if you've got the cash, after you get your Google, after you get your Amazon, if you've got the cash to go towards, say, Delta, JetBlue, American Airlines, or United Airlines, or if you just want to put it into Boeing, the last time I told y'all to get into Boeing, Boeing was like, it was lower than like $150. It went up to $278, and then now we got the tremendous pullbacks in the market. And Boeing is military-industrial complex. They're not going anywhere. They're not going bankrupt. The government can't afford to be without them. And that's just a reality. So that's just what it is. So I'm about done. Lithium mining, I tried telling y'all to get your money into lithium mining years ago. I said electric vehicles are going to be the new big thing. I was thinking about all the money I made off Tesla. But that's just what it is. Some people have made a lot of money off of my oil advice. I'm glad you did. I always appreciate those comments. I always appreciate, because see, I'm not one of these people who gets up here and talks in fucking rhetoric. I don't do that. If you ask me a question, I'm going to answer the question. I'm not going to tell you no fucking rhetoric. I'm not going to tell you, oh yeah, well, all you got to do is just do this and this and this, and then that's that. It's like, no. I'm not going to tell you that shit. If you ask me a question, I'm going to answer the fucking question. I don't do rhetoric. I can't do rhetoric because rhetoric is it's just lazy. It's mentally lazy. I can't do it. So that is all I really wanted to say. We're facing a week of uncertainty. We're facing a week of fucking war and violence. As you can see, military base in Lviv attacked. They're going after these people. They're going to blow them all up. And it's crazy. It's crazy. So, guys, get ready for a wild week. It's going to be a wild week. These Russians aren't fucking around. They're attacking the other side of the place. These guys aren't fucking around, man. I've been saying it for the longest. They are going to flatten that place. I would hope that the leaders would be smart enough to know that they can't win. They might as well surrender. They should do it now. It hurts to see these sad people. Look at this beautiful woman. It's sad to see these people. It's sad to see all the racism that is targeting the Indians and the Africans who were also in Ukraine. And you got these people openly coming out and saying, oh, yeah, well, only the blonde-haired, blue-eyed people are worth rescuing. And all that does is make the world, hostile. So my thing is, that's what you're facing, man. You're facing war and terror, suffering and pain. That's what you're facing this week. By the end of this week, oh, shit, look at that guy. That guy's a badass. Look at this guy. Look at this guy over here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This guy's fucking shooting at somebody. Look, I think he got him, too. Look at that guy. But anyway, it's going to be crazy this week. It's going to be crazy. So my thing is, you got to get your money settled in a way where this probably either won't affect you or you can, make some gains, because nobody knows how badly fucked up this economy and this country is going to be after we come out of this situation. Nobody knows. So you guys got to get your money ready, settled. You got to get your money just positioned properly. And that's all I had to say. But it's going to be a wild ass week. By this time next Saturday, next Sunday, the shit is hit the fan.